Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering the final story in Superman 96, The Collector of Celebrities, which is very similar to a story in Superman 45, which I covered in this series, I believe, at 265, which involved an alien from a different dimension collecting famous people. I actually spent a long time looking that story up this morning, because sometimes people ask me to actually tell them where these stories are, and we've, as you can see by the number, done a lot of Superman stories, and I don't remember specifically where a lot of them were. I had to look up the War of the Worlds type story, and it took forever because someone asked me in the comments not too long ago. But I did eventually find that story. This one was a little easier for me to find. Luckily, I remembered that it had the really big fight. Like, the alien legitimately fights him. There hadn't really been much of a fight scene, a really good sending each other as if they were comets into the Earth type fight scene in Superman, and that was what was really memorable about that comic. And luckily, I did title the comic after that, so all I had to do was search fight. That story is called The Case of the Living Trophies, if you're wondering. It's in Superman 45, if I haven't made that abundantly clear. But this is Superman 96. More than 50 issues after that story, but a very similar idea. Though, I mean, similar concept, it's a very different villain, and actually a less interesting villain. Though, rereading this for this video, I kind of like the story a lot more than it was. It does actually present a lot of challenges. It's just overwritten and overly complicated. And they kind of have to rush the ending. Plus, God, I'm coming off really negative right off the top, even though I kind of like this story. Plus, it hits the usual Golden Age Superman problems with kind of rushing that ending and having like 3 tasks and 3 things happening. So essentially, there is a very rich guy named Griswold who is collecting famous people because he's a big collector, but he keeps losing collecting competitions. So collecting living people seems to be like his big goal now. He can't possibly lose because it will be the greatest collection ever. So he's insane. He makes famous people agree to some sort of weird task, and he will give them a lot of money or give them something if they win, but they have to become part of his collection if they lose. They usually don't read the fine print, and they've been tricked into it, but Superman comes around to help them. But what's kind of great about Griswold is Griswold seems to understand how a Superman story works, like he's read one. So he kind of figures out what Superman's doing, like trying to help an explorer find the lost city of Atlantis. So he's going to build an Atlantis, but Griswold sees this coming, leading Superman after like doing like 2 things for the third thing to be legitimately 3 tasks. So it's a 3 of 3s. The third thing is 3 tasks. And the tasks aren't specifically all that special, but he does keep trying to trick Superman, knowing how Superman kind of works, but Superman's way too clever for him. So I actually do like the idea that Superman's being clever and outsmarting this guy with his powers. It actually involves his powers a lot. Maybe if this was more of the whole story, yeah, that would be the usual problem of a story being the 3 tasks. It's already a 3 things story. But at least this guy tries to stop Superman in ways that we've seen Superman accomplish things before. It feels like a villain that's learned something, even if it's not Luthor. Of course, Superman's going to win this out, and sadly, we have to go through these tasks really, really, really quickly. This is actually one of the few times I would like to have a 3-task story given room to be told and sort of like see him play around with these tasks, as they are not particularly very memorable. And honestly, I don't see any reason to mention them because, well, he deals with them so quickly. In the end, Superman wins, and he basically has to turn his entire property into a child's play area, which actually feels way more old school Golden Age Superman. I know we're still in the Golden Age, but like what he used to do with the rich people at the beginning. And Griswold actually feels great because, well, he's earned affection and love of the community and society. I guess those are sort of the same thing. But it's sort of a Charles Dickens story, which hasn't messed with a rich person to make them grow in a while, which is something he seemed to love to do before World War II and maybe a little bit after World War II. But it's great to see that version of Superman again. So yeah, I'm going to actually recommend this story with a lot of caveats because I don't actually think it's all that fun to actually read. But what happens in it is fun enough. Okay, that is it from Superman 96, The Collector of Celebrities. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notification when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Friday is Bat Friday where I cover a Batman story, neither Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let us ponder the question, whatever did happen to the man of tomorrow? And Superman's going to get rid of millionaires one at a time at this point in the Golden Age. Is it like the mobsters? Do they just get replaced by a different rich man? Okay, have a great day.